My friend Figerox challenged me to a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer. The goal? To find all three pieces of the Triforce scattered across the land. No longer are we just fighting temples and beating Ganon. We would have to check every single nook and cranny. Inside a chest, under a rock, inside a pile of grass. Triforce could be anywhere. Sit back, relax, and let me take you through the journey of this Ocarina of Time randomizer. Just before we jump into the run, I want to take a minute to explain the variety of items that we'll be encountering in this run that you may not be familiar with, especially if this is the first time that you're watching randomizer gameplay. As you can see on this picture, there's a few different assortments of pots that we have here. The yellow ones with the Triforce on it will typically indicate that this pot includes a key item that will help move your run forward. The pot that is with the spider webs on it clearly will have a golden Skulltula token. And the one that looks like a puzzle piece that is closest to Link will have a map or a compass. There's also a pattern with kind of a lock on it that will have small keys, random from anywhere in the world. Grass also comes in an assortment of colors. The one on screen, red, will have a heart-related item, such as a heart piece or a heart container. It also comes in yellow, white, and black. So let's get the run started, and I'll do my best to explain as we go along, and we'll get familiar with these very quickly. We're going to start off by naming ourselves Link, of course, and then let's see what happens. So it looks like Figerox started us with absolutely 0 items and 3 hearts. And we got a randomized spawn, so we start at the graveyard, which is right in front of the Shadow Temple. This is actually kind of good, because that means we won't have to find the song Nocturne of Shadow to get here. We'll just be able to return to spawn at any time, and then we'll be able to sort of just warp here. Now, I do have a slight concern that we're going to be able to get over that fence, but since it did start us here, so it must be in the logic that we're able to. If we take a look at these little stones, it should give us hints. So trading a bird and mixture in the Lost Woods gives you a green rupee and 5 bombs. So this is a good indication of what could be wasting your time and what could be a valuable thing to look into. Going in here to the graveyard, there's not really a whole lot that we can do right now. I'm probably just going to head over to Kakariko Village and probably do the Anju quests, because the chickens do give us a random check. We can't pull any of these yet because this little kid is going to stop us. So let's see what we can do. There is a red grass here. However, without anything to cut it down or a Goron bracelet, we won't be able to pick this up yet. Oh, and look at that, a Skulltula box right away. We get a gold Skulltula token, but it's a fire trap. So those are also randomized. So it looks like we got some traps in the logic. So we grab ourselves some Cuckoos. We do find a yellow box, which is going to be interesting to see what's in there. Also a pot, probably with another Skulltula inside. We round up the rest of the Cuckoos, and we get a gold Skulltula token, which is not that great, to be honest. I probably would have preferred a better reward, but the Skulltula house could have something good. Inside this yellow box, we get a song, so the Serenade of Water. So this tells me a couple things. Since we got an early song, this means the Ocarina must either be really early in the game somewhere that we can already access, and that the warp songs may also provide a random warp and not to their typical location, like Serenade of Water would be Lake Hylia. It might be something entirely different, so it's a really good thing to check that. So the first thing we do is make our way out to Hyrule Field. I am going to check the pot room in the Hyrule Market, just because there's quite a bit of pots there, so chances are we'll probably find something decent. We're going to pretend like I didn't show you this room in the intro. So when we get it here, we do find a couple of yellow pots, a couple of Skulltula pots. So all around good room to start with. I was a bit dumb and I threw that on top of the pillar, which was not quite accessible. We find a spirit medallion right away, which is really good, because once we have all of the medallions, we'll be able to access Ganon's castle. And we find our first weapon being the Giant's Knife. This is not usable by young Link, so not really that great right now. And we find a prescription in a yellow pot, which means that the leg quests, or for the eye drops, sorry, for the Goron, might actually be something that we're going to need to look forward to. We find a Deku Shield. Pretty good. That wasn't in the yellows, but, you know, we're going to take it. That's why we check the garbage pots sometimes. We also find a small key for the Spirit Temple. There's going to be a map in here, or a compass. So we got a compass for the Forest Temple, so the boss in the Forest Temple is going to be Morpha. We'll keep that in mind for later. This pot should also contain a random boss key, so let's take a look what we get. And we get duped by a knockback trap. Okay. That's, you know, that's the name of the game. So, Skulltulas are also completely randomized in here, so it would be a good idea to check this. I spent a bit too long trying to get rid of it with a pot, which I don't think is possible. And then something amazing happens. We roll, and we get a hit with a Drain Trap, which brings us to a quarter heart. That's not ideal, especially since we're just starting the game. I decided I had enough of this Skulltula, and we're going to move on to something better. And there's a couple of colored grasses in here in the market, which is really nice, although we can't do anything about it right now. So we're going to need some sort of weapon. And the fish is not what I was looking for. But if you could give me the Kokiri sword, that would be amazing. Maybe this gives me a bottle. It doesn't. So just disappointment all around right now. So the next thing to do would be to check the shops. We don't have the wallet right now, but it would be good to see what we have in store for us. And look at that, the hook shot. That's what I'm talking about. Probably 215 rupees. Hell yeah. We don't have any wallets right now, but you know, this is something we're gonna need. Doesn't seem like anything else is of worth in this shop, so we're gonna move on and go check next door to the bazaar. Well, 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 would you look at that? The bow on the top right corner, 35 rupees. We are set for Adult Link. This game wants us to become Adult Link so bad. Already gave us the hookshot, already gave us the bow. Amazing. And on the left side, we got Zelda's Lullaby. This is the second song that the game has introduced to us. This one will be crucial to get to Darunia. It will be crucial to get into Zora's domain. This is one of the best songs in the game, guys. This game wants us to find the Ocarina really badly, I know it. We're going to head over to the Temple of Time. We got a couple hint stones that we can check here. It might be good. Bombing a fiery skull pot gives a silver rupee for the Shadow Pit, which is not required. Okay. Say shooting at the sun gives a green rupee, so fire arrow is not fire the arrow. Fishing gives a recovery heart and a small key for the water, so not really good. Floor master in the forest temple gives a green rupee. So a lot of things are going to be a waste of time. So the next thing that's sort of running through my head now is that we've got a couple checks that we can do in Lon Lon Ranch. There's some pots over there that would be good. And also usually there's the heart piece in the tower behind Lon Lon Ranch where the cow puzzle is. So that's another check that we could do that's very easy and accessible right now. And would you look at that? A gold pot. It better not disappoint. Better not disappoint. And we got the wallet. Let's go. That's exactly what we wanted. Now we can get the hookshot, and now we can get the bow. We can get Zelda's Lullaby. Those are 3 key items that we can now get. Amazing. Couldn't have asked for a better. I mean, I could have asked for a sword, but this will do. Fun fact, if you look at the rings on the cows here, you'll see these are brass rings, so they're garbage cows. But if you find Epona's song and you see that the rings on there could like be green or yellow, it's an indicator that if you play Epona's song, they're actually going to give you something that's decent. We go ahead and check the pots in the back, and we're going to throw this over the wall like an idiot. But this should be some sort of recover item or probably a piece of heart, which, you know, will be great right now because we won't have to hear this annoying sound of low health, which has been grinding my ears for the past like 30 minutes. And hooray for this piece of heart. It's our first, and now we're at full health. So let's go check this tower. Like I said, there should be another check in here as well. And a fairy, which is garbage right now because we don't have a bottle. And this does not heal you if you have anything. So it does not give us a bottle. It does not give us anything. Garbage. But now that we have our wallet, we're going to make haste and buy those amazing items in the shop. Let's start with the hookshot, and then we'll grab the bow as well. I don't think we'll have quite enough to grab Zelda's Lullaby right away, but we don't have the Ocarina, so we'll just grind ourselves a little bit of money, and we'll come grab it again once we have 90 rupees. So we do end up coming to check the altar at the Temple of Time just to get a sense of where the stones are going to be. So this is in the Spirit Temple. It is going to be in the Sacred Forest Meadow and at the bottom of the well. So keep in mind that these locations could typically not be at the designated locations. For example, Lost Woods could be completely random for all I know, because I'm not sure what he randomized. Although all of these entrances that we've been so far are completely normal, so this leads me to believe that the entrances in this game are going to be normal. If anything, I would guess that dungeon entrances are going to be random, so the Deku Tree might be something else entirely. We'll have to find out when we get there. So I decided to head to Kokiri Forest next, because there is a chest there where the Kokiri sword is, and there's also a couple chests in Saria's house. So there's a few checks in here that we can do right away. Could lead to something good. Hopefully we get a sword. That's once we get the sword, the game opens up. We can start cutting grass. That's going to be amazing, considering we have 2 yellow grasses right here taunting us that we can't do anything with. Amazing. Second option, if one of these chests were to happen to have a Goron bracelet, we could also lift the grass, which would be good, because then we wouldn't need the sword, and maybe the sword is actually in the grass. And seeing as the chest is a brown chest, this is going to be garbage. We get a green rupee. Well, I wouldn't say complete garbage right now, because that's 1 more rupee towards Zelda's Lullaby. And we get Deku Seeds here, no yellow grass there, so that's not going to be important. We don't really need to come back here. We're going to check the twins' house real quick, because there's a few pots, and we get garbage pots, but we're going to break them anyway. We got a bomb, which we can't do anything with right now, and we, of course, screw up that throw. And we get a Deku Stick, which also passes through the wall. Amazing. We're going to come back and get the Deku Stick, because that's we can hit things with that. So we're going to be good. We can't cut grass with Deku Sticks, though. But we can hit enemies. We're going to check out chests in Saria's house next, and we get a big yellow chest, which hopefully will have something good inside. Let's see what we get. Saria's Song. Alright, so this is the 3rd song in a row that we're getting. So Ocarina must be close. We get a huge rupee, which maxes out our rupees. Amazing. Now we can actually buy Zelda's Lullaby. I took the time to check out all of the other houses as well, but unfortunately there was only trash, nothing good here. But we do get into Kokiri's shop, and don't you have it? The Goron bracelet. Only 40 rupees. We're gonna snag that right away. That means we're gonna get to actually lift grass. All of the yellow grasses that we found, we could finally do something with it. So this white grass should have a Skulltula token inside. Mine now. We got our 5th one, and this yellow grass. What do we get? Something good. A bomb bag. That is definitely something good. That's what I'm talking about. Now we can have bombs. We can start damaging enemies. We cannot complain about that. Got a couple more grasses to check here. Let's see. Let's not fuck up this. Oh, the slingshot. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now we're talking. We're starting to get the good items. Come on, let's pick this up. Something good, baby. Something good. The Zora Tunic. Okay, that's pretty good. We're not going to be able to use this for quite some time, but we can't complain. And now all we need is the iron boots, and we'll be able to breathe underwater as an adult Link. So now that we have bombs and we have something to pick up grass, I'm going to go check out Lost Woods because there is a couple grottos in there. And as well, we could get into Goron City. So let's just do that and see what happens. We do end up getting a small key from this slingshot minigame for the Spirit Temple. Not bad. And since we have bombs, we'll be able to have access to the Goron City shop right away. That's the main thing that I'm looking for here. That's like 8 items right away that we can see if there's anything good. There is a poacher's saw as well as the odd potion. However, this isn't something that's required until way later in the game when you have to do the quest line for the mushroom for the hag in the back of Kakariko City. We do end up exiting to the top of the trail, and then where we can blow up this little crevice in the wall here, which should give us a chest. Is it a good chest? It's a gold chest. Perfect. And what do we get out of this? A Deku Stick upgrade. You know what? Not amazing, but we'll take it. It's like 19 free Deku Sticks, right? That's how I look at it. Now, I did say that the Goron Ruby was inside Sacred Forest Meadow, so I'm going to go check that out. And there's probably a couple more grottos and some grass that we can check out here as well. So we're going to try to do that. And I also fucked that up, and I threw the grass right through the wall again. If there's one thing that I'm good at, it's fucking up throws. Not really anything of note in this grotto. There's a red grass, which should probably be a heart piece of some sort. Yep, there we go. Heart piece, that's our third one. We'll probably get a new heart soon, which is going to be good for survival. And we get a bug. Oh, hell yeah. No bottles or anything. And this also doesn't give us a bottle, so yeah, that was useless. The cow in Link's house gives a green rupee. Good to know. We don't get the cow there until very late in the game. But good to know that it's trash. We make our way to the second grotto in Lost Woods. We drop a bomb, turn around, and find another yellow grass, which is none other than the Kokiri sword. Hell yes, big win. We finally get a sword for young Link. We'll take that any day. So in this grotto, there should be 2 business scrubs. We're going to see what they sell. The first one here sold a gold Skulltula token for 40 rupees. I was skeptical, but I did end up getting it in the end because the golden Skulltula house could have something decent. So we will grab it. It is our 8th one. I'm glad I did because the second one only had a green rupee for 40 rupees. Big scam. No thanks. We make our way to Sacred Forest Meadow. We grab the hint here, which lets us know that the Fire Temple hammer chest is a green rupee, so we definitely know that the Triforce is not there, and it's not really worth our time going to see. Now, since the Goron Ruby is inside Sacred Forest Meadow, the obvious thing I'm going to go check is going to be the Fairy Fountain on top here. That's usually where any of these checks are for this place, so let's go check that out. So it looks like it was not here, but we've got quite a good items here. We got the Stone of Agony, an adult wallet, piece of heart, the boomerang, bomb shoes. This was an amazing find, although there is no Goron Ruby to be found, so we'll need to keep looking around for that. So we have one more potential check for Sacred Forest Meadow, and that's after we see Saria at the bridge. She'll come back here, and then I believe you get 1 item from that. That could potentially be the Goron Ruby. We grab the hint here real quick. It just says the Great Fairy outside of Ganon's castle is going to give you a recovery heart, so the double defense is not going to be great. And this one here tells us that the Frog Ocarina game gives nothing. All right, pretty amazing. So that's 2 checks we know that we don't have to do. Next, let's go check out the Great Deku Tree, because that should be a dungeon that we could probably clear right now. And this has the potential to be randomized as well, so it could not even be the Great Deku Tree inside here. But it turns out that it is, so entrances to dungeons might not even be randomized. This slingshot chest actually ended up being a gold chest, so let's see what we get in here. And we get a nice trap. Man, I love those. Traps being in the key items is diabolical. Chest on the second layer up there was just a recovery heart, nothing of note, but we do find the water temple dungeon map here. Let's hope we never have to do that. We do end up getting another piece of heart here. We do have bombs here, so we can actually check the Skulltula room now, so we don't have to come back later. However, we only rolled a green rupee. Not amazing. We keep going. To the boss door, and we haven't really found anything noteworthy in the Deku Tree, so that was kind of a disappointment. There is a grass on the side here that was colored. We do end up grabbing a key for the keyring for the Fire Temple. So the keyring will actually give us every single key for that temple, which is amazing because then you don't have to find them. And the boss has actually randomized. So instead of Goma, we get Baronade. So that does tell me that the dungeons do have random aspects to them. Good thing we picked up the boomerang earlier. We make super quick work of this boss, and I did spot a golden pot in the back there, so I'm really excited to see what's going to be in there. Perhaps this is finally a good key item that we're going to get in this dungeon. And of course, it's another trap. However, this is an anti-magic trap, and we have no magic at the moment, so we kind of avoid that. And I do spot a heart pot there, so we're either going to get a heart piece probably, or a full heart container. We'll take that. Let's go. So we do get our extra heart in the end. It seems like this is all just trash, and we get a large magic pot for the win. Yeah, we don't have any magic, so not much we can do there. Let's move on to the next thing. So now, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to return to spawn, I think, because we can head back to Kakariko Village via that way, and then we can grab all of the grass that we were unable to get earlier. So there was quite a few colored grass in Kakariko Village, if I remember. And then we can probably head into Hyrule Field, where there's quite a bit of grass there as well. And then most likely head into Lake Hylia. Once again, just getting through all that overworld grass. Hopefully we get something good. Just on the left here, there was a red grass that we had spotted earlier. This is probably going to be another heart piece. That's right, now we get 2 of them, so we're already halfway to our 6 heart, which is going to be great. There's a red potion there, but we don't have any bottles at the moment, so that's pretty useless. I have 2 more red grass here, so that's probably 2 more heart pieces. And nope, that's just me being semi-colorblind from far away there. So Dodongo Cavern is going to have Phantom Ganon as the boss. Make our way into Hyrule Field, and right where these pea hats are, there's usually a bunch of grass surrounding them. They're kind of annoying to deal with, though. I kind of want to wait till nighttime, but we'll see what happens. I think I'm just going to wait for nighttime to hit, so I don't have to deal with the stupid pea hats. So nighttime hits, and now we won't have to worry about the pea hats coming out of the ground. We will have to worry about the Beyblades, however. Yeah, so we gotta be really careful. And of course, a knockback trap. How classic. I'm getting really lucky with those, aren't I? So now we get 2 more compasses, and the ice, I'm assuming, might be Ice Cavern, and I literally don't pick up that compass. We're gonna keep going, I guess. 2 yellows. We get the Giant's Wallet. Let's go. And, oh, is that the magic? Nope. That's a nice trap. Classic. 2 traps in a row. And I'm just going to get decimated by these skeletons, or we're going to get some health. Hell yes. Okay, and a Skulltula. We're starting to get a bit of a Skulltula collection, so we might be able to check out the Skulltula house relatively soon. And there should be another grotto under that rock that we can check out, so let's do that. Hopefully something decent. That's what we always hope for. This is dead. There's absolutely nothing in here. Let's open the chest for good measure because OCD. And we get 10 arrows, which we can't use. And what's this hint? Ravaged village gives a fairy. Alright, so also not useful. We're going to make our way towards Lake Hylia here. There should be another grotto right next to it. And actually there's a second grotto inside the square fencing there that we can use a bomb on. So there should be 2 grottos right here that we can check. And then a bunch of grass inside Lake Hylia itself. And that's usually a good spot. I'm really getting lucky with these grottos. This is another dead one. We're going to check the chest. Which is just going to give us a fish. We don't have any use for that right now. It does not give us a bottle as well. So maybe the second grotto here will be a little bit better. Looks like we get a business scrub, and we've got a bunch of rupees, so hopefully this is where the game wants us to go. A blue rupee for 10 rupees. No thank you. I'm telling you, these business scrubs only here to scam you. Check out Lake Hylia next, and there's actually a bunch of grass here, so hopefully we get something good. And look at that, the colors, that's what we want to see. A colossal wallet. Don't we have enough rupees already? Another heart container. Let's go. Another gold Skulltula. Another yellow over here. Something good. The mirror shield. Hell yes. Now, we're getting pretty pimped out as adult Link, but we still have no Master Sword. There we go. Another gold Skulltula. This bluegrass should give us a boss key for the Shadow. So Shadow Temple we get a boss key for, another Skulltula, and another Skulltula. Alright, so Skulltulas seem to be pretty prominent. I would almost put money on that the Skulltula house might have a good encounter. So after exploring Lake Hylia, I did take a break, so technically this would be my second session. That's why we're back at the graveyard. So I did remember that I think I missed a check in Kakariko Village up by Anju's house. There's actually 3 pots there, and we're going to go check those out. Maybe there'll be something good. And we spot a yellow pot. That's what we want to see. And we grab the silver gauntlets, so that is the first strength upgrade. That's going to be pretty nice because that's going to allow us to move further into the Spirit Temple, and as well as grab some gray rocks with Adult Link, which, again, we don't have the Master Sword right now. So, next thing I'm going to do, there's actually 3 more grottos that we could check on the Hyrule Castle side. So there's one with the bomb that we can do. Right next to Hyrule Castle, and then there's 2 closer by the river. We're going to go check those and see if we get lucky. Nope. Another dead grotto. Fairy fountains are usually pretty good. They contain quite a bit of items, so we have chances for something good. But in this case, we're only really getting a piece of heart and a couple Skulltulas. Not amazing. We're going to have to look a little bit harder. And of course, this Skulltula turns out to be an ice trap, just my luck. And we're going to check the final grotto of the area just by this tree. Just drop a bomb. And there's another one right here. Alright, there should be some items in the water here. We're just going to take our slingshot out so we can take care of that spider. But we'll be able to check this out. Oh, it looks like the water medallion is down there. Hell yeah. So I'd like to see. That's a really good key item. Once we get all of the medallions, we'll have access to Ganon's castle. So that's really important. Unfortunately, without having any diving scales or iron boots, we can't reach that right now. So we'll have to come back for it later. So the next place we're going to check is going to be the Zora River. So there's quite a bit of grass here, and as well we'll be able to get basically all the way up to the waterfall. We don't have the Ocarina yet, so we can't open the waterfall. But, oh look at that. 3 yellows. We get the Sun Song. Another bomb bag. Knockback trap. Never mind. Thought here we're going to get the bomb upgrade. But of course, with my luck, we get a trap. Another Skulltula. And we get the Pocket Cuckoo. So we'll actually be able to wake up Talon as an adult here, though. I don't think this is the one that wakes him up as a child. There's also going to be a Skulltula in this tree that we can get. So that's going to be another check. Maybe this will have something good. And a Golden Skulltula being an actual Golden Skulltula. Would you look at that? Now, if you bring this chicken to the end... you're actually going to be able to reach the fairy fountain up to the side here early. Let's go. We got another medallion, the light medallion. We also pick up the Mask of Truth, but to be honest, we're not really going to use the masks at all in this run. The only one that could be slightly useful is the bunny hood. So if we find that one, great. If not, rest is pretty much useless. And of course, we get another piece of heart. We're going to check out the second grotto right next to this one. And we get a golden chest. Hell yes. Something good. Now, would you look at that? The only useful mask in the game. We get the bunny hood. We'll be able to move a lot faster now. That's pretty nice. With our newly equipped bunny hood, I'm going to head back to Hyrule Market. Back to the pot room. We had missed a golden Skulltula in there last time. So we're going to go check out what that is. And we'll see where we go from there. And we get the Hylian Shield. That's pretty nice. Now we'll be able to access Death Mountain without having to worry about the eruption so much. Now that we have a decent amount of rupees, we're going back to grab the Golden Skulltula and as well as Zelda's Lullaby. We still haven't found the Ocarina, but we've gotten so many songs that I feel like the Ocarina is so close. It must be somewhere we haven't checked, but is easily accessible. So we're trying to think of what that could be. Now, I was traversing through Hyrule Field, and we noticed this patch of grass that I had missed earlier. So we're going to go check out what that is. We're definitely going to be getting a boss key and a Skulltula. So the boss key for the Forest Temple. Nocturne of Shadow. Zelda's Letter. Let's go. We could actually get to Death Mountain now. Not that we could before. Minuet of Forest. And Prelude of Light. So 3 songs. Just out of the blue. So, Nocturne of Shadow, not going to be that useful considering our spawn point is already the graveyard. But Prelude is going to teleport us to Temple of Time, and Minuet of Forest is going to allow us to get to Lost Woods rather quickly, so that's nice. Now we're just going to head through Goron City real quick, so that way we can get to the Dongo Cavern a bit faster. We haven't checked out what that was yet, and we did open it earlier. So that could be another dungeon with quite a few checks that we'll be able to get. So it's going to be the next thing. Oh, and I did spot a heart here. And we get a heart container. Let's go. So now we actually have 8 hearts. Survivability is going to be really nice. So we get to Dodongo's Cavern, and I was fully expecting this to be Dodongo's Cavern because Deku Tree was not randomized, but we actually get the Spirit Temple. So this tells me that all of the dungeons here are actually randomized, and we just got actually lucky with the Deku Tree being the Deku Tree. So here, being a child, we can only go through so much, but we're definitely going to try to get through as much as possible. Now, for those who aren't familiar, we just got a silver pouch for a Spirit Sun. So this is going to be a sun room, I imagine, in the Spirit Temple, where the silver rupees, essentially you would collect them to open a door. But because the items are going to be randomized, it's not guaranteed that those rupees are going to be the silver rupees. So getting the silver pouch is huge. It allows us to just skip that mechanic, and the door should just be open. So we clear the room here, opening both side doors. We're actually going to make our way through the little hole. And here we actually have a key to be able to open this door, so that's going to be nice. Having 2 keys to start with was really good, because it'll allow us to make our way a bit through the temple at least. We make our way to the top of the staircase and turn around to destroy that gold sculptula. And this will turn out to give us actually a big quiver upgrade. So it's going to be good for when we become Adult Link. We get the sun to shine on this sundial here, and we're just going to hit the switch on the side to make the chest appear. You never know. Maybe we'll get something good. We don't. It's literally just a brown chest. OCD tells me I need to open it anyway, but it's a rupor. We're going to actually lose rupees on this one. We have enough to spare, so it's all good. There's going to be a couple pots at the bottom here, and we actually spot a golden one. And we jump down, and this is going to be the fire medallion. So we're doing really well with the medallions so far. We not too much trouble finding them, which tells me that Ganon's castle might actually be earlier than we think. But for that, of course, we need to get to Adult Link. And that's still waiting. And we got the chicken, so now we can actually wake up Talon in the Hyrule Castle as well, and maybe try to go see Zelda. If Zelda's courtyard is not totally skipped, then there should be a good amount of items here, because there's the rupees all around the trees where the guards are patrolling. So we might go check that out soon. So before proceeding to the top area, I decided to go back and check the 2 side rooms at the bottom that I didn't check earlier. I thought that would be a good play because there's actually a couple chests in there and a couple pots, I believe, that we can check. We got another heart piece, which is nice, and then we find an empty bottle, which is going to be great. As Child Link, especially, that's going to be necessary if we want to try to get into Jabu Jabu. And we get a silver pouch for Spirit Child, which is good. I think one of the upcoming rooms up there with the blocks is actually going to be full of silver rupees that we needed to collect. So good thing we decided to come back, because that top room would not have been able to proceed otherwise. Now in this room, this genie is kind of annoying. I know that it's weak to fire, and my usual go-to is literally just Din's Fire, and we get rid of it. However, I'm not sure if you can actually get rid of it without Din's Fire. Let me know in the comments below if you can actually defeat this thing without the use of Din's Fire, because I avoided this thing entirely. I was not able to get through here. All I want is that yellow pot in the back, and then we're literally probably going to spawn back to the start of the dungeon. I don't think there's any way that we can defeat this, that I know of anyway. This yellow pot is actually huge. We get double defense. And due to my ADHD, I totally forgot to go check that top room, and we're totally leaving to another direction. And that was a huge mistake, because that top room actually contained something nice, which we're going to find out a bit later. So for now, my head told me, hey, we got the chicken, let's go wake up Talon and try to get those millions of checks inside of the Hyrule Castle because of all those rupees. So we wake up Mario over here. Wake up, buddy. You're blocking the way. Go back home. So we get this puzzle done. And I was getting ready to dodge the guards. And we're gonna get in the hole. Yeah, okay. But of course, that was not the case. This brings me straight to the courtyard. And we dodge all of the rupees. And the game robbed me of all those checks. Thank you very much. So now, we're gonna shoot the Mario painting, because that is also a check. We're trying to figure out which window it's in, because I don't really remember. It's right here. And we get a rupee. Amazing. Not good. Let's talk to Zelda. Link, can you hear me? It's me, Zelda. I'm right behind you. Turn around. And she gives me a drain trap, of all things, and 5 Deku Seeds, and then kicks me out of her house. She's like, nah, I don't want you here, Link. Here, get rid of all your hearts, and get those the seeds back that you used on the Mario painting. Bye. So at this point in the run, things are getting a little bit more hectic. I'm running out of ideas on where to go. I know that there's a Deku, a business scrub over here that I haven't checked yet. So we're going to go check that out, and hopefully he sells us the Ocarina or something, because at this point we have the fish to be able to get into Jabu Jabu, or the bottle for the fish, sorry. The only thing that we need is the Ocarina to be able to use Zelda's Lullaby. That would also give us access to Darunia, but we have not found the Ocarina yet. And when I tell you where this check is going to be the most obvious thing of life that I have not checked yet, and I've never even thought about it for a second. We made our way back to Sacred Forest Meadow, because since we went to see Zelda, Saria as a check should have unlocked here, and if my hunch is right, this should just be the Goron Ruby, as it did state that it would be here. And that gives us our first spiritual stone. And now at this point, we're heading back towards Hyrule Field, and we're taking the bridge. And we never came this way yet. And this is the original spawn point for the Ocarina that Saria gifts you. And there it is. The Ocarina. If I would have just checked this in the first place, after leaving Kokiri Forest for the first time, instead of going through Lost Woods, we would have had the Ocarina the entire time. But now we finally got it. We've got so many songs that we can use. The randomizer finally opens up. Now, being able to use Zelda's Lullaby, we head on to Zora's Domain. And we all know what's coming. It's Jabu Jabu. But I forgot to take one thing into consideration, which we'll find out in a second. We take a second to check out the Zora shop, which is completely dead, by the way. This was supposed to be the goated shop run. Zora shop is complete garbage. How are you gonna sell me rupees, bro? I'm giving you rupees for this. We played the waterfall minigame to see what we would get, and we only got 20 bomb shoes, which is good. Don't get me wrong, bomb shoes are always amazing. But you know, if we'd have gotten the scale, that would have been better. And here now I realize that I don't have Ruto's letter to be able to get to Jabu Jabu. Big Fish is blocking the way. But we do have light the torches that we can do for a chest, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And this is going to give us a heart piece, which, you know, always crucial. It is our third one. That means the next one will also give us an extra heart. So now that we have Zelda's Lullaby, we are going to return to spawn, which is going to be the graveyard. At this point, we can check the royal family grave, where usually the Sun Song is. We already have the Sun Song, so we know that's not going to be it. So maybe we'll get something good. So we're going to go ahead and play the Sun Song to freeze all these zombies on the path, because, you know, we don't want to get stun locked here. We're going to be here forever if we do. So we're just going to go up to the final room and pick up the reward. And I would say it is definitely worth it. We get the hover boots. Now, this is going to allow us to do the Shadow Temple as Adult Link if ever we get there. We still don't have Adult Link, so that means we're getting more adult stuff. The Master Sword should be coming soon. Cross our fingers, hopefully. Since we're in the graveyard, we're also going to check the fairy fountain under this grave here. We have the bombs, so we'll be able to unlock the fairy fountain. And there's a chest here as well, but from the looks of it, the chest is completely dead. So that's not going to be the real reward here. And there we go. So we get another heart piece, but more importantly, we're picking up the fire arrow here. This is going to be huge, although we still don't have the magic, and that is going to be a problem. The magic is probably also going to be the next big key item that we're going to want to look for. We're going to be needing a lot of magical items going into Adult Link, Din's Fire most likely, or the fire arrows, as well as the light arrows. We're going to be looking to use that. So since we're right here, we're also going to make our way up Death Mountain. We have Zelda's Lullaby now to be able to check the Great Fairy Fountain. There's also a grotto here. The grotto itself turns out to be dead, and we don't have Epona's song to be able to check out this cow. It does have a green ring. It could have something decent, maybe, but we're not able to get that right now. So the next objective is going to be the Great Fairy Fountain on top there, and we also have the Great Fairy Fountain in Hyrule Castle that we could check. And of course, we get the green rupee. Just my luck. So just before we head over to the Great Fairy in Hyrule Castle, we can also check the crater here. I do believe that with the bombs, there is a grotto that we can do. And as well, that little crawl space that where usually the piece of heart is. I wouldn't say crawl space, but like the place where you can hang out on the wall. And this golden sculptula as well, which is also another golden sculptula. Go figure. And getting into the grotto, we get a yellow grass, which could be promising, but we're only going to get a second Deku Nut upgrade, which is honestly the worst upgrade. Just completely useless. We do get another piece of heart and a compass for the Shadow Temple. So that's going to let us know that the boss is going to be Volvagia. So we are going to need the Megaton Hammer if ever we want to beat that temple. Our next stop was, of course, the Great Fairy Fountain in Hyrule's Castle. And you guys want to take a guess on what the reward is going to be here? I'll give you a hint. It's not a green rupee. That's right, it's a red rupee. The next stop on our Zelda's Lullaby arc is going to take us to Darunia. We're hoping that he gives us something decent, or at least the pots in his room gives us something decent. Kind of a snooze fest. We just get another Sculptula token. And Darunia itself, not much better. What a nice tune! Here's $5 for your effort. Thank you. Can you guys guess where we're going next? That's right. Back to the graveyard, because you guys like this area so much, I'm sure. We've seen it a million times. But this time, we totally forgot that Dampé has a minigame that we kind of just clued in now, and we're going to be playing that. And as Dampé puts his shovel in the ground, he reveals the magic. Finally. Not that we have anything that we can use it with right now, but it'll be useful for when we get Din's Fire, and when we're finally able to use the fire arrows. This will be pretty good. That being said, we head back to the Spirit Temple and get to the top room that we missed last time. So in this room, there's a couple things we can do. So we need to push the sun block into the sun to open up the next room. And we need to light the torches here as well for a chest that's going to drop. We go ahead and finish lighting the torches. And this is going to give us the very important yellow chest that we missed last time. I wonder what this could be. What do you think is going to be in the chest, guys? And of course, as my luck would have it, we grab the Skulltula token, which is once again an ice trap. We've getting so many traps in this run. Congratulations to those who guessed it correctly. This is Ruto's letter. Now we'll finally be able to get into Jabu Jabu. And with Ruto's letter, it gives us another empty bottle. We push the block into the sun, and then we open up the next room, which is going to be the Iron Knuckle room. Honestly, one of the easiest enemies in the game. You can't tell me otherwise. For those who don't know the cheese, take out the Bomb Chew. Spam the Bomb Chew. That's it. They just die. Average Iron Knuckle experience. And now we get to open the door. Typically this would be where the silver gauntlets are, but we don't get that this time. Silver's pouch for spirit boulders. That's going to be pretty cool. I'm not really sure what room exactly that is, but we'll see what happens. And now we actually get access to Desert Colossus if we jump down from here, which means we get access to see what the Spirit Temple is actually going to be. And as it turns out, the Spirit Temple is actually the Shadow Temple. And once we get Adult Link, we'll actually be able to sort of start this, because we do have the magic and hover boots. All we really need is the Lens of Truth. Once we get that, we'll be able to explore the Shadow Temple to our heart's content. For the time being, we actually head over to Zora's domain. We're going to grab ourselves a fish. And from there, we're going to be able to start Jabu Jabu, which is going to be another dungeon. Hopefully something decent. It might actually be Jabu Jabu, or it might be something else. And then I'm assuming this is the path it wants us to go, because this is going to be the final dungeon as Child Link. Hopefully we get to clear the whole thing. Yo, King Zora, the princess is missing. Maybe you should have kept a better eye on her. Oh wait, she's right there. Huh. How interesting. I guess maybe this isn't Jabu Jabu's belly that we're going to get into. She's already saved. Actually, I kind of prefer this. Now I don't have to carry her around the whole time. So we do get into Zora Fountain, which is actually going to be a treasure trove, because we do get another pot here, which is the biggest bomb bag. We cannot complain. There's a couple things we can do here. There's actually another great fairy fountain that we can check, usually where Fair's Wind is going to be. The ice caves are here, but we can't do anything about that until we have Adult Link. There's a couple Skulltulas that we can check here as well. And if there's one thing I've learned, is that great fairy checks are never good checks. I don't think I've ever gotten anything good from here. And this is not about to change today. So we grab our disappointing Deku Stick, and we make our way to Jabu Jabu's belly. So this happens to be the bottom of the well, where the Lens of Truth usually is. So maybe this kind of bodes well for us. Maybe if we find a Lens of Truth here, we'll be able to sort of start the Shadow Temple soon. But of course, the main prize that we're after is the Master Sword. If the Master Sword is not in here, honestly, I'm kind of running out of ideas on where to check next, so hopefully this is it. We pick up another heart piece, which is always welcome. We get amazing words from Navi, the best things she's said in years, saying that the winner is me. We go around back, and some unintentional greatness happens here. We get hit, and then we take a left, and we end up falling down. Honestly, I forgot that this area was actually an area. And this is going to be a big blessing in disguise. There's actually so many grasses down here. It makes it worth it. And then we get the big surprise. We come face to face with greatness. Not only do we get the Zora Sapphire, the Master Sword is here. 2 for 1, baby. 2 for 1. Now we grab the Zora Sapphire and the Master Sword. Now the next thing that we should have on the agenda is that we do need the Kokiri Emerald, and as well as the Song of Time, I think, to be able to open the Door of Time, to actually be able to use the Master Sword and become Adult Link. We checked the rest of the well and beat this disgusting guy for the Lens of Truth chest. But this was a total waste of time. The rest of the well was completely dead, as it should be. We honestly got the best reward, which was the Zora Sapphire and the Master Sword. After contemplating what to do next, I decided to test one of the songs, which was the Lake Hylia song, Serenade of Water, to see if it would teleport us anywhere random. It did not. It did teleport us to Lake Hylia. At this time, I took the opportunity to check the grotto underneath the owl because I did forget to do that earlier. So we do end up getting 3 business scrubs here. The first time ever they had something useful, the Song of Time for 40 rupees. We immediately buy this. I could not believe what I was seeing. So now we're really only missing the Kokiri Emerald and we can become Adult Link. So we go check out the Temple of Time, and we went to check the altar because it should tell us what the placement is. And to my surprise, they were all there, even though I did not get the Kokiri Emerald. So I test myself, we play the Song of Time, and see if it's actually going to open the door. If it does, then good for me, because then I get to become Adult Link. And it did. We never obtained the Kokiri Emerald, and it just appeared there. We are definitely not going to complain. And with that, we enter the second half of the randomizer. Adult Link. So many more checks have opened up now, and this is going to be a hell of a ride. So now the main objective is just to find the 3 pieces of the Triforce. We can check almost anywhere in the world, and we still haven't found a single piece. We need 3. Let's get cracking. First order of business is to check the pot room as Adult Link because this has changed, and we do find a heart piece. There is a pot over here that has a key for the Gerudo training grounds, and as well as a Skulltula. The rest here is pretty dead, but you know, 3 decent pots. And I guess the next order of business is try to complete the game as you normally would. What's the first thing you would do as Adult Link? We already have the hook shot. We could do the Dompe race, but I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to check the Forest Temple. What could the Forest Temple be? Could be anything. Let's hope it's not the Water Temple, because screw that. The good old Fire Temple. Well, we already have the Goron Tunic, I believe, and the Zora Tunic, so I think we're pretty much set here. The only thing is that we don't have the Megaton Hammer. So without having the Megaton Hammer, there's quite a few things that we cannot do in this temple. But we'll try and clear what we can and see if there's anything worthwhile. So earlier in the run, in the Great Deku Tree, we actually found the key ring for the Fire Temple, which was great. It allowed us to save a couple Gorons, but honestly, this temple overall was pretty dead. We beat the Fire Dancer. We tried to check what the hammer chest was, but earlier we had a hint that said it was just a green rupee, so But that was it. Fire Temple, kind of a bust. So the next thing we go check is going to be Dompe's Race. There's quite a few items in there that you can stray off the path to get, and as well as the chest at the end. So this will be worth checking out for sure. As we're going to make our first turn here, our first optional item is going to pop up, which thought was a gold Skulltula, but with my luck, we all know that it's another trap. You pick up an actual gold Skulltula though, so that kind of makes up for it. Beat the race, hoping for a good chest here, but unfortunately, we get a small brown chest, and that's going to be garbage. Probably another rupee. You know it, a green rupee. Love to see it. All worth it though, because on our way out, we almost missed the Lens of Truth, but we didn't. We pick up the Lens of Truth here. We make our way to our next destination, which is going to be Ice Caves. Definitely curious to see what that's going to be. Could be another dungeon for all we know, since all of the entrances are randomized. We rolled the Gerudo Training Grounds. Not amazing. We do have 9 keys though, so we could kind of start checking things around here. However, I did notice very quickly that without the long shot, we can't really do much in here. There's going to be a lot of targets that we're going to need to get to that we can't reach without the progressive hookshot. We do end up grabbing a piece of heart. That was pretty much it. So here we decide to return to spawn, thinking that it would bring us back to the graveyard. However, spawn for Adult Link is different and actually brings us to the entrance of Gerudo Valley. So that's interesting. And from here, we make our way back to the Spirit Temple as Adult Link. We do have the silver gauntlets, so we'll be able to do the right side. And as well, from here, we'll be able to get to the Shadow Temple, now that we have the hover boots, and as well as the Lens of Truth. This feels like the next step that the game wants us to take. We get to the top of the staircase in the main central room on the adult side. And this is kind of where we find the first unexpected item of the run. In this yellow pot here, I was expecting a really good key item, but instead we got the Razor Sword. This threw me for a loop a little bit because I didn't think any Majora's Mask item was going to be in here. But after checking with Figerox, this item is actually supposed to be used for Young Link. It's kind of an upgrade for the Kokiri sword, so we have a better sword as Young Link. This next room is this moving wall here, and I can't tell you how long I've spent in this room trying to get to the top. A stupid amount of time. It took me way too long to figure out that you couldn't move to the next platform while it was moving, because then you would just kind of get hit. You have to wait for it to stop and then move to the next one. I swear to God, I'm not mentally challenged. So I fast forwarded this bit and it took about a minute. In real time, this took me 6 minutes to climb this wall, and I am not proud of that. We need to do better. We get to the mirror room where this next platform to the right is going to lower to in front of the boss room. In the yellow pot just down here, we actually end up finding the Kokiri Emerald a bit late, and I actually never needed it for some reason. But you know, we'll take it. Add it to the collection. Just say that we did find it. So we line up all the mirrors, we get the light to shine down, and we lower the platform. Although this is pretty much the end of it, we don't have the boss key, so we're not able to progress further from here. So our next stop is going to be the Shadow Temple. We do have hover boots, we have the Lens of Truth, so I think we have everything necessary to actually fully clear this temple. We also have the boss key for this, and remember the boss is going to be Volvagia, I believe, here. So we have everything that we need to be able to beat it, so let's get to it. So we start by scouring the back rooms here. There's 2 rooms that have chests, I believe, and there's a couple pots, so we check to see if there's anything good. This first room ends up being dead, so the pots here are pretty basic. We get a Poe, which we don't really need, and then the chest is just a basic brown chest, Sag. We get to the second room where we have to fight Mr. Hands again, but now we have the Lens of Truth, so we can actually see where he appears, which makes it a little bit easier. So he goes down really easy and provides us with a heart chest. I mean, not the best, but not the worst. We're starting to get not as great items anymore because, to be honest, we've sort of found most of the key items. So, we're just hoping for Triforce pieces at this point. That's the entire point of the quest. Get the Triforce pieces, and that's it. That'll bring us to the end of the game. So if we could actually get our first one, which we haven't even found one yet. So the back rooms were dead. We finished this puzzle at the main entrance, and then we keep going. Thankfully, this dungeon is not very big, so it should not take us long at all to get through all of it. After checking the 2 side rooms here, they were not worth it, also dead, so we keep moving forward towards the main entrance. Here, there's going to be Skulltulas that we have to watch for that I didn't see coming the first time. But, you know, you won't fool me twice. Ah, nah. Looks like I got fooled twice. This room was actually pretty nice. We ended up not getting 1, but 2 full heart containers here. We get a small brown chest for our troubles. Definitely thought this was going to be a dead chest, but for some reason the game thought it would be nice to give us another Hylian shield, which we don't need. Now, at first, I thought we weren't going to be able to reach this without the long shot. I tried a couple different things, but the best solution was actually going to be to get on top of the chest and to actually, like, hookshot from the top point, which we'll be able to reach that afterwards. I did not realize that right away, so we went on a bit of a side quest. And we ended up going back to Lake Hylia and noticed that I missed a grass where you, under the tree where you get to see Sheik, and the Megaton Hammer was actually there. From here, we also went to check out the Fire Temple, which, funnily enough, was the Dodongo Cavern. And as Adult Link, we can easily clear all of this. So it was a good idea to go through this and check to see if we actually got anything decent. Most of this dungeon was also dead. We did pick up a few golden sculptulas along the way. And now, since we have the hover boots as Adult Link, we can sort of cheese this and literally go straight to the bong bag chest. There was also a sculptula pot here that I went to grab, but this was probably by far the greatest trap of all time and literally just catapulted me to the other side of the room. We do end up getting the broken Bigoron sword from this chest, which is a key item for the quest. Nothing big. I'm not even sure if we're going to be needing to do this. Last resort, we're going to be doing this frog quest line for the eye drops and all that if we end up getting all the items. The rest of the dungeon was also completely dead, sadly. We get to the boss room and we fight none other than Phantom Ganon. Reminiscing of when I used to beat this guy as a kid. Not my favorite boss, but you know, he's not the hardest boss either. But I will admit, I struggled a little bit more with this boss than I needed to. Phase 1 is done. We got him off the horse. And this is where things get a little bit dicey. So we literally just have to time it well, hit it back and forth on the ball. But in the later, like, it feels like things got a lot faster than I remember. And I struggled with this. Here I was thinking that vertical slashes were not going to be the way. We definitely need to horizontal slash, so maybe targeting was the mistake. So I tried to alter my plan here, and it seemed to work a little bit better. But as you see, speed goes a bit faster. That wasn't even that bad. I just messed that up. Here I had the brilliant idea that the Bigeron sword would actually do more damage than the Master Sword, and maybe try to do it that way, and thinking that maybe this knife also had a longer reach. Also, I forgot to take into consideration that I had the Giant's knife and not the Bigeron sword. We'll see why this is important shortly. My blade just broke. We saw that blade fly out in real time, but we did manage to actually do the back and forth thing quite well. We got quite a few hits here, so I was pretty proud of that. After what felt like another eternity of struggling, we finally managed to get him down, and we beat Phantom Ganon. This is definitely the part of the game where I felt hella rusty. I don't remember Phantom Ganon actually being that hard. I'm not sure why I struggled so much here, but oh my god, it's finally over. After all that, Phantom Ganon deals another final blow, and what do we get as a reward? These nuts. After that was finally over, we went back to the altar in Temple of Time to check where the medallions would be. So we've already got the Light Medallion, and the Forest Medallion is actually in the Hyrule Market. So at this point, I decided to go back as a child, and we're going to grab that. And then the final medallion, the Shadow Medallion, is going to be in Kakariko Village. So we're going to have to double check that as well. We're also going to need the Iron Boots to get the Water Medallion that's in the Hyrule Field. Once we have all three of those medallions, we'll actually be able to check Ganon's castle. And there's quite a few checks in there, so I'm assuming something is going to be in there at least. And it would be so poetic if Ganon actually had the Triforce of Power on him, and you'd have to defeat Ganon to get it. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Here, there's only really a couple things I hadn't checked in Hyrule Market. The first thing I go do is check the Bombchu shop, because I actually didn't check this yet. And turns out this is actually where the Forest Medallion was the whole time. So we're just going to buy this here for 100 rupees, and that's an easy get. After this, we get back to Adult Link and return to the Shadow Temple, because I was convinced that there was something that I was missing here. This really pointed everything towards the Shadow Temple, everything that I needed to do, the Lens of Truth, the Hover Boots, that was all of the items that I had recently. And here's where I had mentioned last time that I didn't think I could reach this this target on top to get to the top room. By actually backflipping on top of that chest, gave me the necessary height to be able to reach it. And from here on out, the Shadow Temple opened up a few more possibilities for us, so let's continue. We make it past all the fans, and then there's a room to the left here with the Lens of Truth. We're just going to need to get over there. And then there's also another room that we can check here. I do check the Lens of Truth room first, and it does end up being quite lucrative, so I'm really happy about that. We do end up fighting a few re-deads here, but with the Sun Song we can freeze them right up. And right upon entering the room, I spotted that yellow pot, and I was like, yes, finally, hopefully something good. This is where I was a little bit confused, because we previously had the Zora Tunic. This is a duplicate item. I'm not sure why we found it twice. However, this pot here came to our rescue and said, hey, I heard you needed to dive. Maybe take the silver scale. Maybe this will allow you to reach that water medallion. We get a key chest for defeating the re-deads, so it is just going to be a key for the Gerudo training grounds. Nothing too major. We'll probably get to do that at the end. So now we just progress through and we get to the boat, finally. We're at the end of the Shadow Temple. We do have the Megaton Hammer now. We know that the boss is going to be Volvagia, and we'll actually be able to defeat him, which is nice. We just have a few last rooms to check here at the end with the invisible hands. The first room here actually ends up giving us a gold chest, which is amazing. And then we finally get an item that will allow us to progress forward. Let's take a guess to see what this is. Congratulations if you guessed right. It was the Skull Mask. So this will allow us to not progress forward. I totally japed you guys here. The good item is actually going to be in this yellow pot. We get the Iron Boots. This will allow us to get the Water Medallion and also check out to see what the Water Temple is going to be. At this point, there's only 2 things that it could possibly be. Well, 3 things, actually. It could be the Water Temple. It could be the Forest Temple. It could also be the Ice Caves. I think that's the only dungeons that we haven't seen yet. The other 2 side rooms there were completely dead, so we head to the boss room, which is going to be Volvagia. This boss is incredibly easy. I do not struggle with this boss in the slightest. After the most intense game of whack-a-mole I have ever played, Volvagia goes down. Our next order of business is to grab the Water Medallion that we weren't able to last time, but now that we have the Iron Boots, it will let us go straight to the bottom and grab this for free. Now the only medallion missing is the Shadow Medallion, which revealed earlier was in Kakariko Village, and there are a couple checks that we haven't done there yet. Technically we would need the Song of Storms to get to the bottom of the well, but if it was anywhere else, like in the bottom of the well, I would say, it would have told us so. And I think because it said Kakariko Village, we can rule out the bottom of the well as being the place. I think there's a check in Anju that we haven't done yet, and I think that might be it. Also, no, the Windmill Hut guy, which we would actually need the Song of Storms for as well. So those 2 checks are the ones that I'm going to be looking for, and as well, we can double check to see what the Water Temple is going to be. Now that we have the Iron Boots, we also have quite a few checks at the bottom of Zora Fountain, where Jabu Jabu is. We have the Zora Tunic, so we're able to check that. I would say there's probably like a good 6 or 7 items at the bottom of there, so it's always good to check. And being this late in the game, I actually probably wouldn't doubt that there is a Triforce piece there. So we do grab the bottomless wallet, not that we really needed more rupees. We do get another heart container, that's pretty nice. And you know what, another trap, I'm not even surprised. However, no Triforce piece, which is unfortunate. Now at this point in time, we're going to play the Serenade of Water and get back to Lake Hylia so we can check what the Water Temple is going to be. And to my disappointment, the Water Temple was the Water Temple, and I absolutely hate the Water Temple. And I know you guys probably hate it just as much as I do. I'll save you guys the time. This temple was completely dead. There was nothing good in here. Every single chest was this brown garbage chest with arrows and Deku sticks, and I can't say that I'm surprised with the garbage temple that is this water temple. Let's move on to the next thing. So now we head back to Kakariko Village, and after waking up Talon with the Pocket Kuko as adult, you bring it back to Anju, make it happy, and guess what? We get the Shadow Medallion as predicted. So that gives us the final medallion, and we're finally able to get into Ganon's castle. And I'm pretty excited to see what's in here, guys. We've got a different room for every single medallion. The only one that we're not able to check right away is going to be the light room, as it's behind the golden gauntlets, which we haven't found yet, so that's a bit concerning. I'm hoping that it's going to be in one of these rooms. And apart from that, we can also check out Ganon's tower. There's a couple fights in there, but actually without the boss key, I don't think we'll be able to get into the pot room. That's going to be the only hindrance. But let's see what this castle has in store for us. So we do grab a couple silver rupees for Ganon's castle. This is actually going to be super important because all of these doors that open up to the end will pretty much require us to have all of the silver rupees. So if we can get a silver pouch or any silver rupees for this place, we'll gladly take it. This first Deku Scrub is actually going to give us an additional silver rupee for the light room. I am going to take it. Second one, he's going to give us a silver rupee for the spirit room. Very important. We can actually access this one now. And then I'm assuming this is going to be kind of a pattern. I'm expecting the other ones to also give us silver rupees for the remainder of the rooms. I was wrong. This one gives us a small key for Shadow. We beat the Shadow Temple already, so I'm just not going to grab this. And this last Deku Scrub is going to give us a golden Skulltula. I will grab this. We have 57 now, so maybe checking the golden Skulltula room might not be a bad idea at some point. I think at 57 we've actually unlocked the majority of them, so we've probably got a good like 6 or 7 checks in there now. To the forest room, and I'm a bit daunted by these candles. We do have the fire arrow. We could light them, but I didn't want to use the rest of my magic to do that right away. I'm hoping maybe we could find dense fire in here first, and if we do, it'd be a lot easier, waste a bit less magic. So we go into the spirit room, and even with that silver rupee on the side there, we actually don't have enough to open that door. So we're actually going to move on to the next room. So we do check out the fire room next. We do grab some magic beans here, and as well as the Requiem of Spirit. However, we do need the golden gauntlets to check what's under that pillar, and we do need the long shot to be able to get to the end. We also don't have all of the silver rupees here, so we couldn't even open that door either. The Shadow Room is up next on the list. So for this one, this is traditionally where you would get the golden gauntlets. So I'm kind of hopeful that they didn't change that spawn and that the golden gauntlets will actually be at the end here, since it does seem like that's going to be the next key item that we will need to proceed. We're going to pick up the Skulltula on the side chest here. Now, unfortunately, the Golden Gauntlets chest turns out to be a key chest. However, we do get the silver pouch for Ganon in the forest room, so this is going to be really good. And now we are able to get to the end of the Shadow Room, so I'm going to go ahead and do that because there's a couple pots here. And we go ahead and turn around, and there's a boss key pot here, which gives us the boss key for the Fire Temple. That's another thing that we could complete after if we need to, now that we actually have the Megaton Hammer. And as well as the boss key, we could finally complete the Fire Temple. We check out the forest room next, since we've just gotten all of the silver rupees for it. So it's just a matter of lighting these beacons and then seeing what's on the other side. And we get our third silver rupee for the light room. So there's 5 in total, so now we're only missing 2. So at a quick glance, we got Farer's Wind on the right side here and another silver rupee over there. So we'll definitely have to check out for what room that is. And it turns out being for the fire room. Kind of sad because honestly I don't have the long shot yet, so even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to complete the room anyway. We check out the back room hoping for some good pots, but this room actually ends up being dead, and we get nothing from this, so let's move on to the next one. We check out the water room, where immediately we see a golden chest on the side here, hoping for the golden gauntlets. That's really the next key item that we need. We do pick up the blue fire here because we haven't found the ice caves yet, and this blue fire will actually allow us to thaw out King Zora, and then that's another check as well. We unfortunately get the spooky mask here, which is completely useless. I don't know why this was in a golden chest, but you know, we'll have to deal with it. We go on to the next room, and we get this baby puzzle done really quickly. And as well, we pick up the 4th silver rupee that we need for the spirit room. So that's going to be good. We only need 1 more, and then we can actually get to the end there on that one too. Unfortunately, the last 2 pots in this room are also dead. We don't get anything good. And for the time being, this is going to be the last room that we can complete. So we'll have to find something else to do. So what I'm going to do here actually is going to go back to the fire temple and try to defeat it and see if we get anything decent out of that. So since we have the hover boots here, what I'm going to do is simply cheese and go directly to the boss. We're not going to take the time to go all the way back up and do the pillar. Oh, this is going to be the easiest boss of life. Queen Goma as adult Link. Oh, hell yeah, this is going to go so fast. But more importantly, there's actually going to be quite a few grass spots on this side of the room. So we might actually get something decent here. So we only get some bombs as the boss reward, which is not great, but the main reward is going to be from these grass on the side. So we actually do end up finding Epona's song here, which is huge, because this will allow us to go to Gerudo Fortress, and that's a whole other set of checks. And we waste absolutely no time doing that. We grab Epona and we jump the bridge. Gerudo Fortress, here we come. I am ready to fight some ladies. So here we can fight 4 guards, which will give us each a check reward. There's a bunch of crates and a bunch of pots. I do get caught on purpose here because I do just want to use the hookshot to get on top, and then this will give me a vantage point to be able to arrow them down and just get through this a lot easier. So we do get to the first guard's room, we turn around, we see a boss key pot, and this gives us the boss key for the water temple, which I'm really hoping I don't have to do, like, water temple, please, no. Alright, so we do beat the first guard, we get a key for the well. I mean, we're already done that, so we don't need this. We free the first carpenter, so that's 1 down, 3 more to go. Once we get all of these done, Buru should appear and give us a reward as well. On the way to the second room, we do find a golden crate on the side here. We just quickly take out the guards so we don't get spotted and sent directly to jail. Unfortunately, this just turns out to be the Bolero of Fire. And I mean, what does a guy have to do around here to be able to get 1 Triforce piece? Like, I feel like we've explored the entire game yet, and we don't have a single Triforce piece yet. The rest of Gerudo Fortress was mostly dead until we defeated the last guard and released the final carpenter, at which point Naburu came to see us and provided us with the Gerudo membership card. This is going to be great because this allows us to open Haunted Wasteland and as well as the Gerudo training grounds. So we do check this out next. It does turn out to be the ice caves. So now this tells me entirely that the Shadow Temple entrance is going to be the Forest Temple. That's the only one that we have left to do. And in order to do that, we're going to need Din's Fire. So maybe Din's Fire is going to be here in the ice caves. That would be pretty convenient for me. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. We only ended up grabbing a heart chest here using the blue fire. And that was literally the only thing that was decent in here. Everything else was trash. Now at this point, we head out in the back and we check the archery range. There's always quite a few crates here and pots. And as well, you can do the archery range minigame if you do have Epona. I got really excited to see 2 golden crates here. We do get an odd mushroom and as well as a large bullet bag. I would argue that these might be a bit useless, but the odd mushroom being another ingredient, I'm wondering if they would actually want me to do this quest line, especially if they give me this very late in the game. So we might head to Kakariko Village after and check out the Old Hag's Potion Shop in the back. It would also give us access to blue potions, which is actually pretty good. We also quickly do this archery range game. I haven't done this in forever. I was super rusty, but I was actually pretty happy with my performance. I didn't even pay attention that I only had 20 arrows, and I started spamming like crazy. Good thing it actually ended up working out, and I did get over 1,000, but that could have gone bad really quickly. And as a thank you for beating the game, I get all of my magic drained. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I wanted. So now we head back to Kakariko Village, and we're going to give that odd mushroom to the potion lady, and see if we can actually get anything from that. I don't quite remember how this quest line goes, so we'll kind of just have to wing it. We only get a recovery heart as reward, not amazing. But I think this does give us access to blue potions, which we can get for 100 rupees, and this would actually restore my magic. So I do end up grabbing one, simply to restore my magic, and then I will grab also another one for the road. Now it's at this point where the accidental awesomeness happens. We go through the back of this house just to get out of the area, and I completely forgot that this was a shop. And guess what we find here? The golden gauntlets are just sitting there for 200 rupees. Don't mind if I do. So now that we have the golden gauntlets, we can go back to Ganon's castle. We can open up the light room, and at that point that gives us another check. And we can also get rid of the pillar that goes to the in the fire room. And the light room did not disappoint. 2 golden chests. And I'm going to give you guys a moment to guess what you think is going to be in that chest. In both of them, actually. The first one, congratulations if you did it correctly. Triforce of Wisdom, our first piece. Finally. We still have 2 more to go, but I mean, at least we found one. This indicates that we're going in the right direction. How poetic would it be if this was the second one? But no. We get the Goron mask. Also useless. We go to the next room where we can play Zelda's Lullaby here for a chest drop. Unfortunately, it's some brown garbage. However, when we get to the next part, what's sitting up there? None other than Din's Fire. At this point, my heart starts racing. Finally, we're going to be able to do more progress. We can go to the Shadow Temple entrance and open that up and get to the Forest Temple. That's going to be the next big check. Unfortunately, the final room here is kind of a dud. We get a couple more silver rupees, but at this point, we are completely done here. Spoiler alert, the other spirit room and the fire room were also dead. There is nothing there. The main reward here was the Triforce piece and Din's Fire. And now, we head on over to the Forest Temple. This is honestly my favorite temple. I like the music in here so much. I like the ghost mechanic. I don't think there's a single thing in this temple that I don't enjoy. We get our first good drop from this temple, from this side room where you typically get the compass. We get a golden chest, and this one holds... Can you guess it? That's right. The light arrows. This will actually allow us to defeat Ganon now, which is going to be really good. I'm really hoping that the Triforce of Power is held by Ganon. That would be the most poetic ending to this randomizer. There's a couple pots that we didn't check in this room when we first came in, so we are going to do that. And we do find a golden pot, and wouldn't you find the Triforce of Courage? That's our second piece. Amazing. So now we have 2 pieces, only 1 left to go. The randomizer is finally on its tail end. I can smell the victory at this point. Our next amazing find of the temple is going to be on this boss key chest. So here, instead of the boss key, we end up getting the long shot, which is going to be much needed. Now we can actually access Haunted Wasteland, which is going to be really nice. There's a couple more checks in there. From here on out, we just complete the Forest Temple as per normal. We're going to get rid of some ghosts, like we're the freaking Ghostbusters. Get down to the last ghost. We find the purple one crying. We're going to give you something to cry about. Arguably, this is going to be the easiest ghost of all because you don't have to wait for it, like, forever for it to appear. Literally, it just twirls, you attack it, just twirls, you attack it, and then it dies. Really easy. And now we take the elevator down to where the boss area is. And this is going to be my least favorite boss of the run. And you'll know why in a second. I'm just gonna let this play and watch how pathetic my attempt at this boss is going to be. Morpha finally goes down. Now you can tell why this is absolutely my worst boss. I hate the Water Temple, everything that it stands for. I guess maybe skill issue, I need to get better, but I absolutely dislike this to the max. Morpha also gives us a final farewell of these nuts. So now that we have the long shot, we can go to Haunted Wasteland, and then go to where the ghost guide usually is, at the bottom of that Haunted Wasteland area. There should be a couple pots that we can check, and hopefully, the last piece of the Triforce will be there. We haven't found the boss key to get into Ganon's room yet. Ultimately, I would also take that if we can find the boss key that leads to Ganon's room. We would go back to the Ganon Tower, you know, and then beat Ganon and get the Triforce of Power. That would also be such an ending. That's honestly the ending I'm hoping for, but it might not be the ending that we get. And to my surprise, we get another song, which is the Song of Storms. So, you know what? We can check quite a few things with this. We can do the Windmill Hut, but we can also do many grottos with this as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start checking grottos as much as possible. The first grotto that comes to mind is the one inside Kokiri Forest, right in front of Lost Woods. We also have another grotto that we can check in a Hyrule Castle, where Talon usually is. That's a Song of Storms grotto. We also have one in Zora's Domain, and there's also one outside of Goron City, going up towards Death Mountain. So we've got a couple grottos to check, so let's get into it. The closest one to my current location is going to be the one in Kokiri Forest. So the one right in front of the Lost Woods entrance. We're going to go there first. We get ourselves another yellow chest, so that bodes well, and a yellow grass. We grab another Skulltula piece. We open the chest. The biggest quiver. You know what? Arrows are always good. And there it is. The final piece of the Triforce. Not where I was expecting it to be, but you know what? We take it. With that, the run is over. We win.